Hey there everyone, and welcome to Great Lakes Powerstroke. Today we are doing a errand with the black trailer. We got it in tow back there. We are heading over to the local Polaris / Kubota dealer, and because I have no bandwidth to work on a few things that I broke, I'm going to bring them over there and they're going to flush the hydraulic system on the tractor and replace the hydraulic cylinder that I may or may not have caused a leak on one of the Rams. Potentially by too many peeled stones in the bucket, but to make a long story short, we're bringing the Polaris in too for that axle shaft that I broke. I ordered the axle shaft and realized that I just haven't gotten around to doing it yet, and I want to go riding. It just makes more sense right now to bring it in and just get it done, and we're going to go from there. But anyway, so we're rolling right now with the B2630, which is like 3,200 pounds, plus the LA 404 bucket, or 403, whatever the heck it is. I don't know how heavy that is. It's probably 800 pounds or something like that. And the Polaris, which is like 850. So, and this trailer, I think it's like 3,400 pounds empty. But we're probably a little south of 9 right now. 9,000 behind the truck. We're certainly nowhere near its 15,800 pound towing capacity with a conventional hitch. But nevertheless, it's a fair amount of load. And I'm just screwing around a back road right now. I prefer taking back roads, but we'll be on a main road in a second. We'll bring her up to speed, but currently I'm in like 5th gear going up a hill, getting horrible fuel economy, but anyway, it's a beautiful day here in Michigan, so I'm hoping this is going to be an uneventful trip. I'm going to get out and take a couple stills and like at the outside of the truck, because it does look pretty sick with this trailer behind it. It matches perfectly. I'm going to follow this up with a review of these journal grabbers that are on this truck, as well as the as a fitment video, just like I did on my dad's truck, with these zero offset fuel vapors. So look forward to that. This is kind of like a teaser, I suppose, of that video. But basically we're going to look at the towing in the real world. I live in Michigan, so most of it's flat land, but as you can imagine, this truck would do excellent in the mountains. That's why they sell diesels. So yeah, that's what's going on today. Well, not all today, but just this last hour. Loading it up, I didn't quite have the straps I wanted to use, so I had to do the best I could with what I had. I think my dad hijacked the straps and brought them down for the other trailer he was using, so not exactly happy with the tie-down job, but thankfully it's only like a 30-mile trip each way, and I'll have the right, or 35 miles. Hopefully I'll have the right straps when I go pick up everything. I don't particularly like I like overkill. If you need 4 straps, I like having 6, so that's the way I do things. But currently right now we're at the minimum of what is necessary, but that's why I'm taking some of this on dirt, and it'll get me to a much more off the beaten path road. I guess we could just start with, how does the truck accelerate? I'm using no throttle. If I wanted to use some throttle, I could get it going. But it's amazing how easy this truck drives. And I'm using like maybe 1/8. I got into it maybe 1/4 at most. I was trying to dig up some rocks, but these new trucks, whether it's Ford, Chevy, and Dodge, they all have power, they all have torque, they're all great engines. I've heard some isolated issues with the L5P busting pistons. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but I've heard quite a few people having pistons fail, both stock and deleted, which is unnerving. A lot of the bugs got worked out with 6.7 right away. 2011s, they had some issues that weren't exactly perfect. They had random cranks that would just snap for no reason. I don't really think anybody ever figured out why. And I'm certainly not tuned into, I haven't seen one apart in terms of what one with a broken crank, so I'm not going to offer up any opinion because I don't have one. Every truck has their issues. We all know that occasionally 6.7s or Cumminses occasionally have weird things happen, whether it's the turbo. I think there were some head gasket failures on some of them, but every engine is different. Every time one gets put together, there's 1,000 opportunities for variation. And by and large, all these engines are great engines. So you really can't go wrong with any, and it really comes down to what brand you most like, and also potentially what interior features you prefer, what exterior appearances you like. I mean, if you like the new 2020 Duramax exterior, you may or may not like 4th Gen Dodges because they look entirely different. They're a different truck, different brand. So anyway, I'm going to cut this portion of the video off, and we'll pick up with some exterior pictures and such. I probably could have done it earlier. This is actually a very pretty spot right here, but I'll throw in some pictures and stuff like that, and sort of a walk around here in a minute. And once we get to the paved part, let's just short paved part. It's not actually the paved part I'm talking about, but once we get to the real paved part, we'll get her up to road speed and set speed control and talk about, I guess, how it drives with the trailer. So again, we're rolling with about 9,000 pounds behind the truck right now, which is certainly not anywhere near the limits of this truck. Stop of this one is clear. We are certainly not the limits of this truck's capability, and it certainly doesn't feel like it. I mean, I'm just accelerating like a normal person would. There's the boost gauge, something less than probably 20 psi right now. Not really putting a whole lot of power into it, just moseying along. I didn't actually turn on tow haul mode. I didn't really feel the need to. But anyway, I think it's a wonderful truck. It tows incredible. Make sure it's clear here. Draw it back onto dirt. Stop for the railroad crossing. But anyway, I will cut to pictures / potentially a walk around video. Thank you all for watching, and we'll get on the cement here quick and have a conversation about how it drives with a little bit more power going to it. All right, thanks, guys. Alright, here's pavement. And there's a semi-truck. Once he gets out of the way, step into a little bit, let him finish his corner. Alro. Anyway, I mean, I hope you don't watch this video expecting the truck to tow the trailer like crap. Because it's just not going to happen. WFO, but I'll just let off. I don't want to go too fast. Like I said, I'm not exactly proud of the strap job. It's there, but it's not making me happy. So we're gonna proceed at under the speed limit and be extra careful. But anyway, so with I have the tractor facing backward, so the bucket's facing toward the rear to put most of the weight over the rear axles and fit the Polaris. Polaris is at the very front and rather close to the 3-point on the tractor. Like I said, I got the tractor and the Polaris in here, so it's kind of a tight fit with it's a 24-foot box and another, it's a 22-foot box and a 4-foot V. So it's a 26 overall length, but it's only a 22-foot in the square portion of the trailer. But let mean, it tows fine. One-handed driving. I mean, I could probably drive it with one finger. Yeah. It's a very stable platform. I love this trailer. Not sponsored by Wells Cargo or anything, seriously. This trailer really tows well. A lot of my buddies have borrowed it to either move or they've drove it while we were up north, like having quads or dirt bikes in the back. And I've got nothing but, wow, this thing is awesome, which it is. It's a really great towing trailer. I think they're 52 axles? No, that would be an 8. I don't know what axles it has. Haven't really looked. My dad bought it a long time ago when we were moving from a different cottage to the one that we have. I think it was one of those. We need a trailer. He just went out and got one. He just got it. If I had to pick it again, I'd own 2 trailers. I'd own one a whole lot bigger than this, and I'd own one a whole lot smaller than this, because it's too big for like 3 dirt bikes and a quad. I mean, if all my friends rode quads, it'd be a different story. You could probably put 4 quads in here if you were creative. 4 full-size 4-wheel drive quads if you had some muscle to turn them sideways, so you could get them in here. 2 of them sideways and then 2 of them straight. You might even be able to get 5. I don't know. Be tight. But I mean, we had it going up to Memorial Day weekend. We had that X3 and his dad's 900 Ranger in here at the same time, plus a bunch of junk. So, I mean, you can put a fair amount of stuff in here, and it's really handy for moving. But the problem is that it's pretty long. So, I mean, I've backed it into some pretty tight between trees and stuff like that to get to a little campsite way back in the woods when we went camping and riding. It can be done. It doesn't really have a whole lot of, I mean, the departure angle is horrible, so you drag it on everything. It is a trailer, it's not a Jeep, but I mean, if I could do it all over again, I'd own like an 18-foot overall length, 18 or 16 trailer with bunks that come out of the walls to sleep in, like just fold down like that. That trailer right there. That's what I'd have. And I'd have like a 32-foot car trailer, just because you just have so much more room. It's a nice size, but it's kind of in the middle. It's not big enough to be big, and it's not small enough to be nimble. So, you know, take the good with the bad. So it is what it is. But I mean, clearly it works well. We're doing 50. I mean, I going up north where the speed limit's 75. I'll run 70, 75 all day, even with it loaded. This trailer just tracks dead straight, and this truck tows amazing. My dad's got that 2500 Cummins that's been on the page, or on the YouTube channel, on Great Lakes Powerstroke. It's the 2500 with coil springs and the 4-link or the 5-link, whatever the heck you want to call it. Technically 5-link. That tows really, really well. The limits of that are the coil spring not having enough spring rate to hold up the rear end. But I mean, as you saw in the pictures, this thing sits perfectly level with this truck. It is a leaf spring truck, but Ford's got this dialed in terms of wheel hop. It's actually really impressive how under control the rear axle of this truck is. Now, I'm sure it has something to do with torque controls. I think if you let this engine go, you definitely need to have some traction bars. You'd really be in trouble. And I've been watching for Patent Fab. They have a really nice kit for Dodge trucks, and I've talked to him. He's going to do a Ford one, and when that gets done, we're putting those on this truck for sure. It's a long travel traction bar system, so basically you don't end up with binding within the reasonable travels of this type of suspension system. I mean, clearly if it would bind if you had like 4-link and coilovers or something like that where you can flex a lot, but within the limitations of a leaf spring truck, it supposedly allows for free flex. So that's what we're going to look at doing to get the benefits of axle under control, but also not having axle hop so bad, especially when we delete eventually, or allegedly, or whatever you want to call it. But anyway, I'm going to cut it because I'm going to turn right onto a busy road. I don't want to be paying attention. But thanks all. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, please, and comment. Feel free. Thank you, guys. Bye. Anybody ever wondered how quick the Great Lakes Powerstroke is with an empty black chiller on it? Me too. For a boost launch in 4. Wow! She gone. That's not bad with a trailer on it. I mean, dang. There's 60, 65. Man. That's amazing. I mean, I actually really do have the trailer on it. I'm not kidding. What a 100% serious. But anyway. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate it. Like and subscribe.